Okay. So, African American intro to African American studies. The topic tonight, Atlanta, season 2, episode 6, called Teddy Perkins. That episode was a doozy, baby. I'm not even, I think I might have watched 5 episodes into Atlanta the first time. I never finished it, but I might go back and watch it. And then we're also going to talk about This Is America music video by Childish Gambino. Obviously, Donald Glover and Childish Gambino are the same person. Excuse my burping. It's the wine. We're gonna get to it. Okay, so those are the topics for tonight. When I let you in to talk, right, what I need you to do is introduce yourself with your name, your city, your pronouns if you care to, your classifications, and your major. My name is Brandy. My handle is Brandihelena Direct Discourse. I'm originally from New York City, but I live in Atlanta. My pronouns are she, her, and queen. And my classification is a senior. My major is the black woman is everything. The black woman is gold. Okay. Now, I had a lot of people in my inbox, in my DM, ask me, or in the comments, how else can they follow me in case we need to keep going after the 75-day extension on TikTok. Okay. So here, Instagram, fan base, Threads, YouTube. You can follow me all there. Chill out. I'm working on the content. Okay. My fan base is probably recent up until like 2 weeks ago because I migrated. Instagram, it's been personal up until this point, but I'm okay with transitioning. I need some time, okay? Like this whole study group was not in the plan, okay? Threads, somebody tagged me today about being in study group, and I was like, you know what? I ain't posting in Threads yet to this date. I'm gonna get to it. YouTube, I have some content up there about Wicked and the relationship between white women and black women and how it shows up in Wicked. You're welcome to watch that. I am going to post the live that we did yesterday in probably 2 parts, and do the first part of do Gil Scott Heron's The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, and then do a separate posting for I Will Not Vote by W.E.B. Du Bois. Okay. Again, your girl is 42. These are new skills she's learning. I'm not a young whippersnapper. Breathe easy with me. Give me some grace, okay? Lastly, some people had inboxed me and asked me how can they support me personally since this is free. You're welcome to Cash App or Venmo me. Everything there. Follow me and sending me money. Same handle. I made it easy for you, baby. I made it easy because really it's because I can't remember shit, okay? It's because I can't remember. It's not because I was trying to make it easy for you. I was trying to make it easy for me. Okay? So you are welcome to follow me, tag me. Thank you to everybody who's been tagging me in other people's posts, because I've seen quite a few posts where people are like, how do I keep up with everything? And a lot of people are like, oh, you can just follow. Thank you. You can just follow Brandy because she's doing this and she got the study guide. I love that y'all are volunteering my services. I appreciate it. But in volunteering my services, I'm going to redirect you to the casual and the Venmo in Jesus' name. Okay? Thank you. All right. This is how this is going to go. I talked about how you're going to introduce yourselves, okay? What I'm going to do as I allow people in, I'm going to let in 5 people at a time. Hold on. Let me look at my notes. I'm not going to let y'all stress me out. I'm going to let 5 people in at a time. You're going to mute up as soon as I let you in. I'm going to start from the bottom and I'm going to work my way up, okay? Once I accept you to start speaking, you want to do that introduction that we talked about. This is a friendly reminder that this is a black space. What does that mean? This space is hosted by a black woman. So there's going to be times where we're talking, and it's African American studies, right? So if I'm having a conversation about how do black men show up for black women, right? That's not your time to speak, white people. That's your time to be quiet and take notes and listen in the back, okay? That's not your time to shine. Also, this is not a venting session for you to tell us how sorry you are. I know there was a young lady yesterday who did that. There's no shade to her. I really do hope she joins a book club, but I'm glad you're having an awakening. That is personal work that you need to do. This is not your space to center yourself and your feelings and your white tears, okay? Respectfully, that's not what we're doing. Can I get a hell yeah from the white women in the group? I need a, you know what? Hell yeah. And I'm looking for it in the chat. We're not moving on. Okay, because Baby, we don't do coddling over here. And everybody just take note. I have a broken fingernail. It's bothering me. So I feel like if I bring attention to it, I can get over it. Okay? Okay. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, the last point of order I want to make. This is to my black women. Black women, I love you bad. Real bad. Down bad. Okay? I can't let you bully people. Respectfully. I can't let you bully white women. Yes, this is Hillman TikTok. This is Hillman Talk University. Yes, this is a black space. Yes, this is African American Studies. But for who I am as a person, I'm going to delete the comment. Okay? I'm not going to approve the comment. If I see it in the chat, I'm going to mute you. I'm not going to block you, but I'm going to mute you. I get your frustration. It's valid, and I'm not taking that away from you. I get your anger. It's valid, and I'm not taking it away from you. But in this space, we're going to respect each other. Full stop. Can I get a hell yeah from black women? We can't move on. I need a hell yeah from black women. 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 I'm not seeing it. Okay. I love cooperation, right? It gives you hope. Okay. I fuck with you, you fuck with me. Also, I have a potty mouth. I apologize in advance because I'm not changing. Okay? All right. Okay, so y'all got the rules. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you missed it, if you came in late, listen. Being early is on time. Being on time is being late. And being late is unacceptable. We get A's over here, baby. Okay? All right. I got my notes. I'm not using my laptop tonight. We have 5:10. Bitch, we didn't even get started yet. Okay, so let me look at this guest list. I don't have anybody who wants to talk. Nobody wants to talk because I am a yapper. I can talk all night. I got 2 hours. So the first topic, let's get into it, D. Right. Okay. Also, listen. White women, come here. Stop telling me you white in the comments. I can see it. Okay? Not even just in the live, but like in my video comments, y'all be like, I'm a white woman, can I join? Baby, it's a public platform. You can see me. You ain't got to announce that. Okay? It's all right. It's giving center of attention. I love that for you, but not here. Okay? Okay. Now we're going to get back. All right. Okay, so the first topic, we're going to talk about this. Okay, we're going to talk about This Is America first, actually. But before we talk about This Is America, I told y'all last night, I made a list of people who were on hold to speak and didn't get a chance to speak. I have that list right here. So if I see you in that list, you're gonna move up, right? Even if somebody else was, somebody was waiting before you, you're gonna move up. I have that list. I got a burp. I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's the wine, and I'm gonna keep drinking it. So before I start bringing people on, I see one person. Okay. I want to talk about who Donald Glover is, because Donald Glover is Childish Gambino, okay? Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the love. I want to encourage you all to tap the screen, and I want to encourage you to when you hear somebody speaking, when you see my guest speaking, and they say something that resonates to you, send them gifts, okay? I love that. We love that. We want to share the love, okay? That's good? Okay. I will. And I will, Oz. I will. I'm grown. All right, so I just want to give you a little bit of who Donald Glover is, right? When I say I'm not a fan, meaning I've never listened to his albums. Donald Glover was born in 1983, which is interesting because I'm older than him. I'm older than a lot of people. He is married, and he is an American writer, actor, and musician. He produced the TV show called Atlanta, and it was on air from 2016 to 2020. He has released 5 studio albums and has several EPs, all right? So let's look who's on this list. I'm only accepting 5 people at a time, and I only have 1 person in the queue. Go ahead and mute up for me, Nicole.
Sorry.
No worries. Nope. Nobody wants to talk about This Is America? Oh, okay. Cool. I'm trying to figure out why you're here. Okay, there we go. I got Ricky. Please mute up as I accept you. Please mute up as I accept you. Please mute up as I accept you. Let's see how many people I got in here. All right, Jake, I had to mute you. You're not following instructions. I got you. All right, I got 3 people in. I'm accepting 2 more. It's not. I'm trying to figure out why y'all here. Okay. I'm not. I don't say that to be mean, but like, you just came to hear me talk because thank you. I love to hear me talk too, but I want to have a conversation. All right, I need one more person. Okay, now here we go. Let's see. Let me check this list. All right, I don't see anybody else. Okay, so again, I'm gonna work from the bottom up. Go ahead. Hold on. Thank you, George. I think it's Georgia. Thank you for muting up. All right, so we are talking about This Is America First. Go ahead, Nicole. I'm listening.
Hi, I am Nicole. I am from Joliet, Illinois. It's a south suburb of Chicago. My pronouns are she, her. I would say my classification, I think I'd be somewhere between a freshman, sophomore. I grew up in a very diverse area, so I am not new to a lot of the issues going on and that have been going on. And my major is unwhitewashing what I've learned in
Okay.
traditional school because I feel as though to move forward, especially these next 4 years, we need to educate ourselves as people in this country. And the only way we're going to do that is by learning from each other and having open dialogue and open conversations with each other that are just brutally honest and asking those tough questions and having those hard conversations.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. So, what was your takeaway of This Is America, the music video?
So I also watched, because you mentioned last night to watch the 13th documentary.
Yes, that live is for Sunday, but go ahead. You can
Okay.
share.
So the two like related so much to each other. So in This Is America, watching that video, it from watching 13th,
Mm-hmm.
they just related so much. And what happens to the African American person, because I'm not going to say man, woman, because everyone does things. But it was very powerful and very impactful. And it just opens your eyes from being who I am and where I'm from. It opened my eyes even more to what happens and how easily things get just brushed under the rug and people get forgotten about.
Okay, so were you on yesterday's live?
Yes.
Okay, were you there for the whole thing or like halfway through or in and out?
Nope. Whole thing.
Okay, perfect. So you know that I speak directly to white women.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
I joined the book club too.
Oh, I love it. Nicole. Okay, oh, you shouldn't have said that because I'm
That's fine. I
I'm
am here
looking
for
for
it.
you. Just side note, what Nicole is talking about is I started a book club with my friend Day. It is for white women about it's called Anti-Racism Book Club. There is a fee. We meet once a month. Go to the link in my bio, click the first button if you want to join, click the second button if you want to learn information. You can email us. But separately from that, okay. So I think you're doing a really good job of going around the bush, right? So I hear what you're
Mhm.
saying that they're related, but you're not giving specifics. And it sounds to me like you're scared to offend, which I respect. But I'm having a lot of conversation with white women about this this discomfort they're having in wanting to advocate for anti-racism. And a lot of them are saying, well, I'm scared I'm gonna say the wrong thing, or I'm scared it's not gonna go right. And my genuine advice to that is then do it wrong and then get it right. You have to be teachable, right? You have to
Mhm.
remain teachable. And so being in a space where you are capable of being corrected is actually more important
Yes.
than the work, because if you we talked like I talked about yesterday about how allies show up. So if you show up at my house and you start roller painting and got paint all over my floor, you didn't help me. I got to clean up your mess and I still got to paint it. Still got to paint the wall, right? And so just as you're on this journey of dismantling racism and figuring things out for yourself, say the thing and then be open to somebody saying, you didn't do that right.
Okay.
And taking in that constructive criticism, sitting with it, and then moving forward. Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome. So I do want to say I have watched 13th, but it's been a while, so I need to refresh myself tomorrow. Um, I want to speak to the rest of the panel and say I am interested in specifics about This Is America. Like, what stood out to you? What were some of the themes? And actually, I want to use this as an opportunity to go over some notes that I took. Nicole, go ahead and mute up for me. I'm getting a
Okay.
little bit of feedback. Thank you. I just want to go over some notes that I took. I don't want this to override what you all took away, right? If you had a different perspective, that's okay with me because we had some differing opinions yesterday, and I think it worked out beautifully because different POVs are important. Sorry. So here's some of the takeaways I got. I'm not going to give you all of them right now, but um, I watched a video from Insider by Alana Yozola. I think that's how you pronounce it. Um, and this is what her takeaways were. She said Gambino performs as America. He is a caricature or a ringleader in the video. And the entertainment and the dancing is a distraction from the violence that occurs. Also, I want to note that if you're going to talk specifically, make sure you're using words like pew pew and unalive because we don't want to get flagged, okay? Um, Somebody pointed out that the pants are possibly Confederate pants from the Confederate uniform, and that the awkward stances that he makes, specifically in the beginning, he does this thing with his eyes where he like has one eye closed, one eye open. It reminded me of Uncle Ruckus from what's the name of the show? I'm forgetting the name of the show. I know y'all gonna put it in the chat. With Huey and I can't. It's a cartoon. I know y'all gonna put it in there. Boondocks. Thank you. I love y'all. Um, it reminded me of Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks, and then also somebody else pointed out that the stances that he makes. So like when he's pointing the pew pew at the person sitting in the chair, the stance that he takes is taken from propaganda of African American people in Jim Crow. So like this kind of entertainment version of Black people. It's a stance that they took. You can go watch this video and she shows the pictures of it. And so these are some themes that were apparent to me that maybe you don't even know about, Nicole, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm looking to have this specific like conversation about what takeaways did you have or what was startling or not startling to you from that video. Did you have anything you wanted to add really quickly, Nicole?
Yeah, at the end, I thought it was really telling because there was a video or a clip that I had seen of an African American man running and there's a white mob behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last scene in the video. And I think that is to me, that was the most powerful because he's running scared. And it reminded me of, like you said, Jim Crow days and Martin Luther King movements and how Black people were just chased by white people in the middle of the street. And that stood out and was such a powerful vision to see in that video because everyone was, blurred out in the background and he's running scared, but you can tell every single person in the back is white.
Mm-hmm.
And they're chasing him out of where they are.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Just a reminder, once you're done speaking, you're welcome to drop down to make room for the next person. So thank you, Nicole. You can drop down. I do want to add this. As a Black person, that scene was not impactful to me in the way that it's impactful to you. And it's because I'm desensitized to seeing people who look like me unalived every night on the 10 o'clock news. So I related to him versus was impacted. Like I didn't see that and go, "Oh my God, he's so terrified." I saw that and was like, "Yeah, yeah, real talk. That's how it feels walking down the street sometimes. That's how it feels going to the grocery store sometimes." But yeah, thank you for sharing, Nicole. All right, the next person I have is somebody says it says HMBAN. I don't know what that name is. You're welcome to unmute.
Hi, my name is Heidi.
Heidi.
I'm a nurse.
Hi, Heidi.
Hi. I don't want to take up too much time. I have watched this video. I saw it when it first came out. And to me, it's not the last scene of the video, it's the sequence of the continuation of increase in violence. That is not unfamiliar. My hope and my wish it would be that it would be on a grander scale, because I don't know that it reached the right people that it needed to reach. I don't know that white people as a whole understood the sequencing and how that sequence of violence was indicative of what we are seeing today and what we have seen in the past couple of years. And I think it's important that we prepare for protecting people from what is to come.
Heidi, do you mind if I ask you if you're a white woman?
I am,
Okay.
and I don't mind.
Okay, thank you. So, the question I have for you is thank you for pointing out the progression of violence. I actually didn't notice that. I noticed the violence, but I didn't realize until you said it that it did grow, as uh, the video went on. Did you find any correlation to the Carolina Nine when the choir was pew-pewed?
Um,
And it's okay if
I
the answer is
don't
no. I'm just like, when
I
you
don't
first saw
remember
it,
it
did you think it?
specifically. I'm in North Carolina, so
Okay.
that was definitely covered. If you were watching the right news media stations, it was
Mm-hmm.
covered versus the supportive, I guess is the best way to put that. Um, so I don't recall that definitely reflected when I was thinking of that. Maybe more so the burger that was fed and the
Okay.
congratulations. That's what it felt like to me. Was like a reward was given to the person that did that.
Okay.
But I do have to say, in relation to the pew pew, as my photo indicates, yes, I am white. My husband is African American. My grandchildren are Hispanic as well. And my son, as a 12-year-old, had a pew pew by a police officer in North Carolina. So I feel like I have unlearned and learned things, um, continue to unlearn. And that's why I'm exposing myself and making sure that I'm getting into these places that might be uncomfortable so that I can sit in the uncomfortableness and learn from it, because I'm almost 50 years old, but I'm still white and I haven't unlearned everything that I need to. Um, and I realize that I say things that I need to stop and reflect. And I ask, did I say something wrong? Can you please let me know? And that's just something that I wanted to share, because I don't think that a lot of people of my race take the time to do.
Okay. I just want to be clear. Were you saying your grandchild was pew-pewed by a police officer? Is that what you said?
My son had a pew pew held to his head by a
Oh, I'm
police
so
officer.
sorry. Oh, that's terrible.
But yeah, we didn't learn about it until he was 18. He couldn't even tell us.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that. So, thank you for sharing. I want to encourage you. white women ask me all the time, what can I do? Like, how can I help? Right. And my answer is always going to be, first, I don't know where you are to tell you what your next step is. In White Fragility, Robin DiAngelo says, what has allowed you to become a full functioning educated adult to this point in your life, and you don't know about racism, right? Because in anything else in life, when you want to know something, you find a way to learn it. And so I appreciate that you're in a place right now where you're asking, well, did I say something to offend? I would say that what people of color and specifically Black women would prefer as you grow, right? As you grow, is to increase your empathy so you don't have to ask that question, right? Grow your empathy to the point where it's not required of you to say, did I say something that was disrespectful or upset you, because you are clocked in and checked in enough that you can self-identify when you have misstepped. That to me is your next step, right? There's some other white woman who hasn't even gotten to the place where she can ask somebody, did she mess up? But for you, the next step is your empathy in working on, hi, Amber. I love you, baby. Amber is my only white friend. Y'all tell Amber hi.
I am.
But thank you, Heidi, for sharing. I
Thank you
appreciate
so very
it.
much. I appreciate the time.
All right. Next on the list, I have Move Something. Move Jay. Get out the way.
Hi, it's Move Julius. It's like a Beyonce thing, but my name is Lisa. I'm
Wait, pause. Move Julius. You mean her bodyguard?
yes, like when she was like, it was like the behind the scenes, and she's like, "Move, Julius."
That's hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry because I'm a Beyonce fan, but what's your name?
I
I'm
love
sorry.
her. My name is Lisa. I'm from San Jose, California.
Okay.
So I'm actually not a student, but I'm actually a college dropout, but I still love to educate myself. And these topics are very important to me because I am Latina, but my upbringing was very much integrating a lot of indigenous practices and things like that. So I really do believe in Black and Brown unity. It's very important to me considering both of our history. So I do like to take a lot of time to learn new things and just be a student. But yes, so what I took away from the Childish Gambino video was, so this video came out 2018, 2019. So it was a while. It was even like a while before TikTok really blew up. And just all like his dancing basically to distract from all the violence, I feel like it still resonates today in 2025 because with TikTok and TikTok dances and everything blowing up, it just the distractions kind of to say, and like the way people move on from just everything, like just completely being desensitized and just entertained. It's just crazy how it's gotten. Something else that I really took away from rewatching the video was when the church choir was pew-pewed, the police kind of like ran at them. And instead of like going forward to like help them, and that's something that you see often when Black people call for help from the police, they don't get help. They get attacked instead. So those were my takeaways from it. Definitely the things that you noted as well. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you for sharing.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you stay and follow. I hope you stay and watch the rest of the live. You're welcome to drop down.
Okay.
Is the next person Georgia?
Hey girl.
Hey, girl. Is it Georgia?
So my name is Jordan. I'm named after George. And so my name is spelled Geordan. So
Okay, Jordan.
I just shortened it to Jor, so because some of my friends call me that, but
Okay.
okay. So my pronouns are she and her. The city I'm in is Cincinnati, Ohio. Classification, I would give myself a freshman title again. I'm going back to this is me going back to school. So
Okay.
and my major, I'm still trying to figure that part out. But
Okay. Undecided.
it's based, undecided, but focus on like children.
Okay.
So what I took away from the music video was that I was trying to focus on mainly I try to do watch the visual first and then read the words and understand that. And so what I took about like you said, Uncle Ruckus and the stance when he pew-pewed that guy in the chair. Um I was trying to I was just trying to watch and just observe. And then when I read, it was kind of like when he was saying, "You got me dancing, yeah." And I'm thinking like, okay, because in the day, some back in the days, we used to not we, but like they had tap dancing and had a show like I think you get what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had us doing tap dancing for them and stuff like that, and like
Entertaining them.
entertainment, yeah, entertaining them for them. And so when I was watching the video, it made me sad again, because I don't think they get the message. Like I don't know how to explain it. Um, we do all of this, and it's still some people won't even watch it. Some people are like, okay, who's this person? And I don't understand why they are doing the extreme to get the message across.
So no matter what we do, it's not seen. We're not seen as real human beings that matter because we're just entertainment.
Yeah. And so like you said, in like yesterday, I was here yesterday and I wanted to say something, but I couldn't because I was shy. But
Well, you out of that today.
I know, girl. Just I'm just glad to be here, to be honest. But I feel like I'm not getting to the point, so I'm trying to get there. But the whole entertainment, like how we're in the sports entertainment, like we're in the entertainment business and not in the STEM occupations or healthcare, stuff like that. Like I'm in education and the students can't read on their level. And it's very sad because it's like we can blame systematic racism all day, but it's also like we don't take the time out to learn ourselves too.
Okay. So I really appreciate the comment where you said about basically like no matter what we do, um, basically we be shucking and jiving,
Yeah.
and we don't get seen as human beings for it. But the reality to me is that whether we shuck and jive, or I think this speaks to more respectability politics, because like whether you wear a three-piece suit, clean shaven, whether you got your hair done is straight with a sewing, 3-inch pumps and a pencil skirt, or you got a hoodie on with Skittles in your pocket, you're still not human to them. And so that to me is the reality of the situation, is that no matter how we show up, it doesn't matter, because the requirement is you have to see me as a human being first for any of that other stuff to matter, right? And if you don't see me as a human being, none of it matters.
Right.
So yeah, thank you for sharing so much. I appreciate you. You can go ahead and drop down. I'm gonna make some more comments before I let the next 5 people up. So more about Childish Gambino's This Is America. So one of the dances they do, let me make this smaller so you can see. One of the dances they do is called the Gora Gora. It's originated in South Africa. And I was wondering if doing that dance wasn't intentionally made to make a correlation between apartheid in South Africa and Jim Crow in America. The video I watched that I mentioned earlier, she pointed out that the people who were dancing with Childish Gambino didn't get hurt. So the people who were dancing with him stayed away from violence by performing. And so does that speak to a sense of finding a way to survive, right? Conforming in an effort to stay alive in a society that only sees you as a threat. So I'd love to hear some more about that. We talked about the choir being pew pew. I saw somebody put this in the chat, and it's something that she brought up in the video as well, which is after each pew pewing, the pew pew was taken away carefully by a little black kid with red cloth. And what that communicated to me is that America cares more about their pew pews than they do human life. Right? So this idea of like carefully taking away the pew pew, but at no point did anybody run to the aid of people who had experienced violence. Right? The only time somebody came running was to take the pew pew away. I'm reading the comments as I'm talking. Then he says at the end in the song, he says, "This is a celly." And so the video that I mentioned earlier, she says this could be a double entendre, and it could refer to, and when he says that, the camera pans up to teenagers at the top of, I need to stop drinking this wine. I can't stop burping. The camera pans up and you see teenagers on their cell phones. And so it could mean this is a celly, like cell phones. And he says this is a celly, this thing is a tool or something like that. Basically acknowledging that cell phones or smartphones at this point in our lives are used as a tool to keep us safe. So think about the knee on the neck. Think about the recent situation that just happened where the white woman was walking down the street and the man came home and she ran up his driveway to his house, rang the doorbell. Nobody came to the door. She asked him, did he live here? He said yes. And she was like, no, you don't. Grabbed her kid and started running, screaming bloody murder. Lord, please don't flag me. Screaming bloody unalive. And then when she comes back to the house with her husband, the wife was like, yeah, he was coming home because this is my husband. He lives here, right? I heard D.L. Hughley say the most dangerous place for black people to live is in the minds of white people. So the cell phone or the Ring camera or right surveillance has turned into this way that sometimes anyway black people are believed. It's not foolproof by any means, right? But yeah, I thought that was commentary on that. And then I saw somebody mention this too. They say in the video the horse that is ridden by represents the apocalypse. So, and then I think it was Heidi. It might have been Heidi that mentioned the scene of Gambino running for his life at the end. So those are all the notes I have. So I'm going to start accepting some more people. Hold on, because I need to check my list to make sure. I got too many pieces of paper. Because like I said, if you were on the list yesterday, you get pushed to the front. Okay. Please mute up as I accept you. Please mute up. That's the wrong button. Ooh, black men. I love to see it. And let me please mute up. Thank you. Let me get one more. All right. Okay. I think you have, hold on. Aidna?
You got it.
God damn it. I'll be learning. Okay. Hi, girl.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
I'm great. It's so good to hear your voice. All right, we listening.
Likewise. As a 42 going on 43-year-old woman, I saw the video for the third time. And what I gather from it is that the form of entertainment that we are attached to, that's kind of like a solace for us, right? Even in the midst of the chaos that's going on around us, not only are we desensitized, but the entertainment, the music, the movies, we need a distraction, right? But those distractions doesn't address the issues. And forgive me if I sound tired, like emotionally and mentally, I'm exhausted. I just saw a video of a young brother from Ghana and Canada that was unalived a total of 17 times in 30 seconds. And I'm going to be so for real when I tell you that I'm tired. There is not a day in these past year and a half, 2 years, there has not been one day that I don't turn on the TV. I don't come on here and I see one of us is unalived, either by one of them or one of us. And I'm so hurt because we can't live. And I understand that this is a space for everybody, but sometimes when and I want and this is me being transparent and honest. I want to believe that our European family and friends want to learn and they want to deconstruct the things that they have been taught. But we also been here before. And they took and then they ran. They took what they wanted and then they ran. And I really hope that this time around, this will not be the case, because right now it's like we don't need allies. We need accomplices at this point. We need accomplices. And we open up our spaces so readily, which is what makes me worried for us. It makes me worried for us because we can't have nothing. And I feel like there are discussions that we need to have among each other that does not include them.
Agreed.
And
we need safe spaces.
Yes, like I'm tired and I'm trying, right? I am trying to have like a sense of optimism within myself, but I keep seeing the same games played. I keep seeing the same outcomes. Like, I'm tired, yo. I've never, like, dang, all we want to do is be left the F alone. Do you understand? All we want to do is be left alone, live a life, have the same equal opportunities like everyone else, compete fairly. Like, since there's no more spaces to push the goalpost, you just gonna unalive me? Like like, come on. Like and at the end of the day, when it comes to, like, other communities, and they say, well, we can relate. No, you cannot. We can't exist nowhere. I can't, like, I want to take a trip with my daughter somewhere. I live in the state of New York, right? But I have to check and see what's the temperature every place I want to go to. If I want to go to the falls, if I want to go, to any place, I got to see if there's enough of us. And if there is us, what is the temperature for the people that are there?
It's exhausting.
Like this, like, listen, I wouldn't trade being me for nothing, because we are fly to the hills. But dog on it, can't nobody live this life. And I get so disappointed when others can try on the aesthetics of Blackness, but I be doggone if they have to live through it.
They want the rhythm and not the blues. So when you were talking, it reminded me of, I had a viral video late last year about the Maori people, and whatever I said, I was basically saying, like, bringing to the point that watching Maori people reminds me that they didn't get us all, right? And that there are people in this world, I don't want to cry, that did not get colonized. And it is invigorating and hopeful and amazing. And that is why we tear up when we hear the haka as Black people, right? And so
Yeah.
I made that comment. And then I had white women, specifically one white woman was like, well, I'm white and I felt it too. Ma'am, shit. Right? And I had to stop her. I said, let me tell you something. And I made a video. She responded and she reported it, whatever, right? But I made a video and I was like, ma'am, unless your people have experienced being stolen from land, traveled the Atlantic slave trade, been enslaved for hundreds of years, experienced Jim Crow, emancipation, Jim Crow, and current genocide in our own country, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You cannot come. You don't be quiet. Like sometimes it's okay for Black people to have spaces where you just shut the fuck up and listen. If you were there in the first place, right? Like respect and appreciate that you were allowed in the space. But if you're gonna be there, shut up. And it's so stressful and so frustrating that I couldn't even say, damn, as a Black person, seeing a people that didn't suffer the injustices that my people had to suffer, it to me it says that's what we could have been. How connected spiritually they are to their land, how spiritually they are connected to their people is magical to me. It's magnificent to me. I am in awe of it. And here come Emily to have something to say about it. And it was so frustrating to me. And then when I checked her, she was like, I quit. I said, ma'am, you got to clock in to quit. You got to be on your job to quit. You got to have been doing some work first to have quit. And the last time I checked, white women ain't did a goddamn thing since 1920 when you got the right to vote and you sat down. Right?
And
So excuse the fuck out of me if I feel like you need to be quiet in a Black space. So I absolutely, y'all laughing because I said Emily. Well, that I absolutely resonate with that. And I appreciate you sharing. Thank you so much, sis. Oh, you had sent me on a ride just now. Go ahead, baby.
And I'm gonna say this too. Our European American family and friends, the females, y'all gave birth to this. And you continue to give birth to this. All of what we see, all of what we are experiencing came from your birth canal. You birthed this. Yes, you are responsible for it because you gave birth to it.
We are the blueprint.
Yes, this is on you. And because you don't want to confront it, you think that you can just sashay yourself right over here. And I'm not trying to be mean again. Please, so just understand what I'm saying. You can't come over here and have babies with a Black man and think that, oh, well, I'm not racist because I have Black children. But what are you teaching them about yourselves? Because there's too many biracial adults that's on here talking about the horrors that they experienced with their white mothers when they separated from the Black fathers. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I am fighting back tears because, dang it, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Listen, my tired is tired. My chest got something to get off his chest.
My tired is tired. Baby, you had said a word.
Like, I'm not going to take up too much time. I thank you for having me, but this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
All
I'm
we
with you,
want to do is
sis.
just be left alone. I have babies, yo, and I'm trying. I am out here teaching them not just how to be good people, but decent human beings in a world of animals, in a world of chaos. Come on now, like y'all gave birth to this. You gotta correct this.
Which is why I'm so serious when I talk to white women and they're like, well, I'm scared I'm gonna do something wrong. I just finished saying this to my book club, and then you're gonna have to get it wrong, and you're gonna have to withstand a Black woman telling you how you fucked up. Like I'm not here to save you from the repercussions of your misstep, right? Like you're gonna have to live through that, and then what's gonna happen? Either you get better or you stop. And it sounds like you're not built for it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But every black woman is not going to respond to you the same way. And so Day and I, we are a great friendship. I'm the evil twin, if you can't tell. And she's the good one. And we have had conversations where some white women had to back out of book club because they like the way she taught, but they don't like the way I taught. And baby, that's okay. But one thing we are is locked in. And you're not about to pit one against the other because she taught with sugar and I'm gonna give you the real shit, right? And so it is what it is. Like, you have to be willing to accept that if you tell one black woman you like her hair, she may say thank you, and another black woman may feel like you being funny. Live with it. which like live with it. Live with it. Like, the amount of shit we have to live with, I think you can stand being uncomfortable for goddamn 5 minutes until you get out the elevator, Emily. All right, thank you, Aiden. I appreciate you, sweetheart.
Like, I'm about to get off this and just go cry because I need
Oh,
to
baby.
have a good cry. My heart is full. My heart is full.
Black women, can we give Aiden a hug in the comments? Just black women. Aiden needs some affirmation right now. We want to give Aiden some affirmation. Give her some love for me.
This just hurts. Like, all we want to do is live, yo.
Yes,
That's it.
yes.
All we want to do is live.
Ashe. Oh, we love you, sis. We hold you up.
Thank
We
you.
hold you
y'all.
up.
Thank you so much.
My tired is tired. Ooh. Sis, stay with me for 5 minutes. You can drop down if you want to, but just stay in the room with us for 5 minutes. Just hold on, okay?
Okay.
Okay, baby. Purple, you're welcome to unmute. Purple.
My name is April.
Okay.
I'm from Defiance, Ohio. She, her. I don't know what my classification is. My major is English with a minor in psychology.
Okay.
So kind of like picking apart like media is something that I enjoy doing.
Okay.
And I just had a thought. I wasn't gonna say anything, but when his video came out, I watched it often. Like, I watched it a lot. It was very captivating, I guess. I don't know. It was just something about it. And then when you had mentioned how he's supposed to represent America, it kind of clicked in my head that, like, when he's dancing, and that's what was like intriguing to me, is that his dance moves were very rigid and somewhat an unnatural type of movements and things. And then that kind of just got me, is that's kind of like how America came to be. It's a very unnatural way to form a civilization. And the only parts that he was kind of smooth and calculated and slow was right before he would unalive people. And that just kind of made me think about how that's the way America is. Like, that's how we work, is we're really good at violence. And I don't know, thought that was an interesting idea. Thought I'd share.
Well, you're right. This country is built on violence. And it's so interesting to me that this country requires Black people in particular to be nonviolent, when no one's freedom has ever been gained through nonviolence. It doesn't exist, right? Yeah. This country was built on the violence against its indigenous people, the violence against the people it brought to this country. And so, of course, like, it makes sense. Like, when you think about it, why wouldn't we love our violence? What has happened that would deter us from loving violence? Absolutely nothing. It makes complete sense to us. And so let me say this. The system works the way it was intended.
Yeah.
The system works the way it was intended. The police department literally was created to catch enslaved people.
Right.
Google it. Okay. I'm not here to argue with no, and this is not directed towards you.
Oh, yeah.
April. Right. Google it. I'm not here to argue with nobody about it, right? But this country literally was like, oh, everybody's free, but everybody only means white men. So I want to say this to white women. You know that don't include
Mm-hmm.
you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that don't include you.
Oh,
I
for
just
sure.
made a video where I said the day white women figure out they marginalized too, maybe some shit could move around. But y'all are so convinced that you're one step away from male whiteness that it keeps the rest of us back because you don't have loyalty as white women to other women. Hold on. Read this book.
Okay.
Read this book. Read this book. And read Hood Feminism. Okay? I'm gonna give it to you again. The Message. Ta-Nehisi Coates. Okay?
Okay.
White Tears, Brown Scars. Ruby Hamad. Somebody type this in the chat for me, please. White Fragility, Robin DiAngelo. This is written by white women to white women. I'm sorry, written by a white woman to white people. Okay? And Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. Start there. Start there. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, April. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Thanks
You can
for having
drop
us.
down. Mm-hmm. JJ?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi. I'm JJ. I am from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
My pronouns are he and they.
Okay.
And I guess my classification would be a sophomore.
Okay.
I'm about to be 50, and I have studied in an actual university setting. And I worked for the Office of Minority Affairs at the University of Texas. I also worked with the Human Rights Documentation Exchange when I was going to school, and that organization helped people seek asylum in the United States from persecution in other countries. And I had to gather data to help lawyers build their cases for people. So this topic, the idea of understanding African American studies a little bit more granular for me is very, I don't know, it's very important because
Mm-hmm.
my perspective is a Latino and a gay man. And I, of course, know persecution from that angle, but my understanding of African American um, experience is very limited because I do have Black friends, but we don't engage in those conversations for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's something that I need to bring up, but I always feel a little bit timid about bringing up something that might be a sensitive topic for anyone. So I'm happy to be here. I'm honored to be here because this is an open discussion for everyone. Um, and I'm just here to learn, right? Like you can give me advice, you can educate me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm here to do is to get educated. So one of the things that I do want to bring up is I have a lot of media law and ethics experience with as
Mm-hmm.
far as academics is concerned. And so when I watched This Is America by Childish Gambino, I saw it through the lens of a filmmaker and a writer, what the narrative might be trying to display and not just tell.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things that I noticed is that, this is a very empty industrial sort of warehouse that has almost no people and no cars at the very beginning. And as soon as Childish Gambino, we'll just call him America. As soon as America starts moving, and Pew Pew's the man that was playing the guitar, it's almost like this roller coaster ride began, and suddenly you have these. And by the way, those dancers were dressed like students. In my point of view, they had like uniforms. So this is almost like an education that they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
What I noticed is that behind them were all these cars, and they were kind of like, there was a guy that was that had one of those money shooters that just kind of like throws dollar bills everywhere, and you could see
Mm-hmm.
that in the background. And so it was this very chaotic, but very almost like a party, or like what you normally see when people go. In my hometown, we had like this little street that everybody would go cruising on Sunday nights, and that's kind of what it reminded me of, where everyone's hanging out or like tailgating it, kind of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, it was almost like this is a representation of everybody enjoying it and having a good time. And and this was right after he pew-pewed that, hooded man. And so this to me was very disjointed. It was almost like trying to say, hey, everyone's having fun while I just did this.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I want to I want to bring up that little boy that takes it away in the red
Mm-hmm.
fabric. To me, that also kind of represents hiding the evidence, right? Because if you don't have the weapon, you
Mm-hmm.
can't really be convicted of that crime. And that's a lot of the things that I've seen in law. And then the next thing I noticed after that whole scene changed was the choir singing. And for me, I watch Key and Peele.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw him standing in there, it shocked me right when he turned around and pew-pewed everybody, because I thought that character was going to stick around for the video because he's such a well-known character. But for him to just go like that, it was really shocking and very jarring. And then everything starts to build up after that, like the other listener was talking about, how the violence exponentially gets worse. However, the very last time he holds his hand up to point, it's empty. And he lowers his hand slowly and lights a joint.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if I can use that word. He lights it up. And the entire mood changes. It's almost like he's not dancing as with everybody else. He's dancing by himself, and he does a Michael Jackson kind of style dance on that car. And there's the man with the hood on him again, but there's a lady sitting on the car
Mm-hmm. And her name
watching.
is SZA. She's a singer, but go ahead.
Okay, I didn't recognize her,
No
but
worries.
I did notice that she was staring at us and not him. And I feel like that was saying something to me about the audience being also part of this display. Like she's watching us while we're watching him. Um, so that was kind of interesting to me. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, or if she is a singer, then maybe that has something a little bit more to do with it because it is performative. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. So what would you say if my takeaway from all of this was about the idea that America is going through a change, an ever evolving change with African American people, and it's never clear about whether or not that racism is actually being defined as it truly should be.
Um, so I want to say I hear all of your point of views. What you're saying makes sense to me. I would disagree with the last point. I would say it's the exact opposite. That and I'll tell you why. The very second to last scene where he's standing on top of the car, like you said, the industrial building was empty, and then at the end of it, it had all these cars, but they're all from like 1975, 1985. And so what that communicated to me is that this country doesn't progress.
Mm.
Nothing changes. That it's the same old song. It's like same shit, different day, right? And so the way racism shows up, and to somebody else's point, the violence progressed,
Yeah.
right? The violence got worse, but the way in which it was hidden, or the evidence, like you said, the way the evidence was taken care of stayed the same. That was consistent, but the evidence, I mean, the violence itself got worse. So I would say that the communication to me was that racism is the same in 2025 as it was in 1825, as it was in 1925. It looks different to us because because the world changes, right? Technology changes, clothing changes, slang changes. Those things change. But what has stayed consistent is racism, to me. So thank you for sharing. If you would mute up for me, I do want to give you some feedback. When you were talking about, you have Black friends and you don't understand, you're not sure why, race doesn't get brought up. What I heard, let me say this. I would imagine you navigate the world as a white man. That may not be true, but from your picture, it seems to me that what people meet when they meet you is a white man until you open your mouth and let them know something different.
Gotcha.
Okay, if that's fair, right? Then I would say Black people in particular don't bring up the topic of racism to white presenting people for sport. Like that's not something we're gonna do. We're uncomfortable. I have a coworker who thinks she's the most unracist person in the world, right? A white woman, maybe in her early 60s. And she was telling me one day, I don't like the 1619 project. It just doesn't make sense to me. I said, did you read the book? No, I didn't read it, but I heard about it. Okay. And I changed the topic. Because you started out by telling me you don't see me. Right. Do you see what I'm saying? And so there's nothing about that conversation that communicates to me that this is going to go well. And we work together. So what that means is I could lose my job for correcting your ass. Mm-hmm. and I want to say this to white people, white presenting people, right? Stop putting Black people in a position, specifically when it relates to how they get paid, their 401k. Stop putting them in the position to have to choose whether or not they're going to choose their paycheck or correcting you. Mm-hmm. It's no fun for us. It's no fun because it makes, when I choose my paycheck, a little piece of me dies every time. Right? But the day I decide to turn up on your ass, you're going to wonder why I'm on 100 because I've been dealing with you for 6 years saying microaggression shit. Right? And the truth of the matter, I'm gonna give you a good example. I'm on the DEI committee in my job. And one time I did a presentation about the pink tax. And I had a coworker send me a lengthy email about how the pink tax is not a real thing. After I had literally researched it, did the whole presentation, a 30-minute presentation, and he sent me a whole essay about how it's not real. And I was so offended. And it was Women's Day. I was like, what the fuck? I was so irritated that it was like Women's Month or something. And so I just forwarded it to my boss and I was like, I need you to handle this. Right? And then it was a big deal. I didn't make it a big deal. I just didn't want to deal with it. And it got up to the higher ups. And the higher up called me and said to me, well, how do you want us to handle this? What do you want? I don't want you to do nothing. I'm just making you aware so that if it turns out something else, I'm not held accountable, right? Like, so he can't argue with me and say, Brittany didn't respond. I don't want him to say I created a hostile working environment because I didn't respond to his email or whatever, right? And then I'm the angry Black woman. Right. And the higher up was like, oh no, we would never assume you were the angry. Guess the fuck you would. That's why it's called a microaggression. That's how it goes, right? Right. That's how it. The rules are in play whether you acknowledge the rules or not. That's how the rules work. And so I would the work is internal, right? I said this yesterday. Anti-racism work is internal. Mm-hmm. It's not about how do I convince my mom to stop saying the N-word. It's about how do you change your life to be an example. Because I don't know if you were in study group yesterday, but we talked about the idea, Gil Scott Heron's The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. The whole point of that poem is to say, you can't change the world. You can't change nobody else. You can't even change yourself until you change your mind. Right? And so that is where the work is. And that is where you must start. So thank you so much, JJ, for sharing. Is your name JJ or do you go by something else?
It's JJ. And I just want to say that because I do want to bring this up just because it's a little bit related. Um, and I come from, the gay background. So something that I want to say two things. When people are
Do it for me. Say it quickly because we're 15 minutes past this topic, okay? And I got one more person to
yeah,
talk.
no, sorry. Okay, so when people come for trans people and gay people, it's a veiled message of misogyny, right? That's
Right.
just what it is. And so when they come for DEI, that's a veiled thing for civil rights. Uh, and so to me, the idea behind why some of the things that trans people do, why they're coming for them, is because they've co-opted a lot of the black like culture into what they do. A lot of drag queens use a lot of like the same verbiage and the same vernacular. And so to me, I feel like a lot of the times that they come for drag queens, it's because they're almost representing black people in a certain way. I don't know if that, because RuPaul has had a huge influence on that entire industry. So for me, when I see them repeating a lot of those same like things that black people say that are, funny or quips that are just like one-liners, I hear it and I know where it's coming from and I see the racism behind not liking drag queens. That's the last thing I wanted to say, just to
Okay.
tie it into the whole entertainment industry.
Well, thank you so much, JJ. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take the next person, and when they're done, you're welcome to drop down, JJ. Then I'm gonna take the next person. When they're done speaking, I'm gonna run to the restroom. Okay, I've been drinking wine, and when I come back, give me like 2 minutes. When I come